Today, the moon continues in Virgo following yesterday's lunar eclipse and full moon in Virgo. Today, the moon goes from Virgo into Libra. That happens at 10:55 a.m. Pacific time. And we begin this process of integrating what was revealed at the full moon, even though we are still very much in that eclipse energy. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Wednesday, March 4th. And we're only one day out from the exact eclipse as the day begins. So we're really still, the moon is still quite full in the sky. So whatever is being revealed or illuminated with the full moon is still continuing to unfold. And yesterday I was talking about the magic and the mystery of this eclipse. And part of that is because we have so much Pisces energy that is really informing that Virgo moon. So the Virgo moon, like I was saying yesterday, earth sign Virgo, very practical, tangible, and hands-on, is like, what is materializing? What is happening? What can you see, taste, touch, describe, understand? But all of that is being informed by this bigger picture of intuition, of gut feelings, of magic, of things that are operating below the surface, of things that we cannot understand or wrap our minds around, and synchronicities and weird things happening in the energy. And so, if you've noticed anything like that, trust it, right? With this, with so much Pisces energy going on and that Virgo full moon and eclipse, things are really not always as they seem. And so we have what we can see, and then we also have, what's going on in the energy below the surface or beyond the surface, or however you want to think about that in that bigger spiritual picture. So again, tuning in with your intuition, with your gut feelings, with wisdom that comes from a different place, and how that shows up in maybe ways that you couldn't have foreseen. So the other thing here is that as you notice things happening in the world, and part of you goes, I'm not really sure if I should think about that the same way I used to think about that. Or just like, let me stop for a moment and sit with that. So, in other words, if we don't jump to a conclusion right away, that's sort of the power of this energy, to sit with it, to be with it, to kind of float a little bit and observe and just get curious and have that mind of wonder to go, okay, I wonder what is going on here beneath the surface that I can't see. And that is where most likely you will find more power to, right? When I talk about empowerment, finding your empowerment to be able to shape things in the way that you really want them to be. So this is not really a time to like take sides, or it's more a time to get curious and understand what is operating at deeper levels. And of course, with Saturn and Neptune in Aries, we're being invited, more than invited. We're being nudged quite loudly to find courage and take action. And all of that is still true. But how we orient ourselves, and I've been talking about this with the eclipse, like how we decide what is right and wrong, what is true and false. The illusions on the surface may be speaking to us when we really should be listening to what's going on below the surface. So and that there might be some disillusionment with this process. That's part of it for sure. Like things that we thought were a certain way, we're finding out, oh, maybe that's not really as simple as I thought. And at the same time, there's something being bolstered. There's something being offered to us in terms of a bigger picture, deeper understanding of the energy dynamics at play. So if that speaks to you, it's this idea of kind of trusting what's happening. And again, you see something that is clearly falls in that category of right and wrong, like someone in front of you is being harmed, then yes, that's clear, right? Like intervene, do something, right? Like do what you can do in the here and now, but don't assume that something that is happening in a way that you're not really privy to all the details. Just get curious about that, understand and observe a little bit longer than you normally would to understand those deeper energy dynamics at play. So hopefully that makes sense. But things are not always as they appear. And so again, bring it right down into the moment, into the here and now, like something. That's how right? That's how you orient yourself. You ask yourself, what is happening right here and right now that I can see and I know is true. And that's what you want to act from with this energy. So and then with the rest of it, with the stuff you don't fully understand, let yourself kind of observe for a while and take it in at deeper levels. And that is, because some of what's happening in the world right now is this dismantling of our ways of operating, of our assumptions about what we can expect and how the world works. And some of that is dissolving, is being dismantled, is revealing itself for the underlying power dynamics and other kinds of dynamics. So pay attention to that. And if you are allowing yourself to move with that energy, and to get curious about it rather than assuming that what is true and what is right and what is wrong and all of that, you'll probably be better off in the long run. So those are my thoughts. As always, don't take any of this as advice. Just take it as like something to think about. Is how does that land for you? How does that feel for you? I am definitely not telling you what to do, but these are my thoughts in terms of how I'm feeling the energy, which is just really hard to put into words right now. But magic, mystery, synchronicity, but also the revealing of these deeper energy dynamics. Like, for example, someone you thought was trustworthy, you find out they're not trustworthy in the ways that you thought, or someone that you counted on that made promises to you, and you're finding out, I have to do my own independent research to make my own decisions and not count on someone else. It's things like that. That doesn't account for all of it, but hopefully that sort of paints a picture of how to think about this energy. And because as we're integrating, right, we're waning, the moon goes into Libra. Now we bring this integration into our relationships and how we get along with one another, how we show up for one another, how we reflect truth and thinking and bounce ideas off of one another, and how we reflect ideas to one another, how we cooperate, how we listen, how we speak our truth. That's all about that Libra balance. And when we are working to create peace, we have to understand that peace is not static. It's not a place we arrive and then we get to just chill with a nice cold glass of lemonade. It is, in fact, where we find the growth. So real peace, real balance means continued growth, that back and forth, that I'm listening to you, I'm learning from you, I'm sharing what I've discovered, and sometimes it means there's conflict in relationships. Sometimes it means there's healing and repair in relationships. Sometimes it means it feels good. Sometimes it feels hard, right? That can be the right balance if that work that you're doing with that other person is dynamic and helping you to grow. So I'm going to stop there because I could keep talking. Anyway, we have that grand trine with the moon first forming a trine in late Virgo to Uranus in late Taurus. And then as the moon enters Libra later in the day, or later as it moves through Libra, it forms that exact trine with Pluto. Pluto and Uranus are in a trine with Saturn and Neptune at the apex, and Venus heading over there to join them. So this energy of support is there. It says the doors are open, the winds of change are here. It's how will you work with that? What will you do with that support? Will you try to hold on to your position and try as hard as you can to not change? Or will you allow yourself to observe and notice and pay attention and see how things surface for you and what shows up and how that is informing you and what it means for you? And it's a very personal process. So the grand trine and the kite with Saturn and Neptune, it's like the air is there, right? That lifts the kite. So that is the support that is here as we're doing this work of beginning to integrate the energy of the eclipse, even as we are still in it and we're still connecting with the weird energy and the mystery and the things unfolding in ways we can't fully explain. Thanks for being here. I'm Marina Orms, and you can watch my recent Emergence series guest interviews, all of which are absolutely fabulous. And, it doesn't become irrelevant now that the Saturn Neptune conjunction is over. In fact, it is the gift that keeps on giving, because every speaker that I spoke with, spoke about how we can think about these energies as Saturn and Neptune move through Aries, a process that will unfold for 2 to 14 years. So this is with us, and we might as well take it in as we can. So go watch any that you missed. Transformationalastrology.com is where you can find all of the interviews, read little blurbs about them, and see what you want to catch up on. Thanks for being here. Thank you for subscribing to this YouTube channel. I'm here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.